What's up, y'all? Hope all is well with y'all today, y'all. I'm back off my little hiatus, and we about to go in. We about to go in. So be expecting to see me quite a bit often now. I had to just take time, y'all, to recuperate, get my thoughts in order. See, I had to just get right. I had to get right. Okay. I just needed to be free of distractions. And that's what I did. But now it's back. I'm back on and I'm ready to, I'm ready to talk to my chosen ones because, baby, we don't have time to waste no more. We don't have time to be letting our dreams slip aside. We don't have time to be settling for BS. We don't have time for that, baby. You are the chosen one. We don't settle out here. Settle is not our portion. We don't settle. Let everybody else do that. You are the chosen one. You are called here for greatness. There is an inheritance for you. There's a spiritual inheritance and a physical inheritance. And if you don't answer your call, you're going to forfeit your own blessing. And the number one way you can forfeit your own blessing is doing too much of this, telling too many people your dreams and aspirations, the people who you think care about you, and they don't care. They don't give a goddamn going about you. Let's be clear. You as a chosen one, if you're watching this video, this is for my black sheep. Y'all already know the true chosen ones. And you already know how life has been for you for years. There's a reason you're not excelling to certain places that you want to be because you have people, you have spirits, demonic deities, entities that's working in the spirit realm to hold you back. This is what you must understand. Y'all know this. We talked about this in the deep revelation of the anointing of the black sheep. There is literally demonic entities assigned to block you, to hold you back from reaching your destiny. And sometimes if you get to doing too much of this to people who you think for you and they're not, a lot of people show up as a wolf in sheep's clothing. They act like they're a sheep, like they're an angel of light, like they're here to save your day, like they really care about you. You don't have to tell nobody nothing about you. You don't have to tell nobody nothing about your dreams, your aspirations. We see in the book of what was in the book of Genesis. But with the story of Joseph, Joseph was the black sheep amongst all his brothers. He was the black sheep. They did not like him. They did not like him for having dreams. Something that he did not control. God gave him dreams. God gives us all gifts. And we will be hated on for our gifts because other people hate that it's not them that got those gifts. Other people don't even realize that they have gifts too, but they will not maximize it. They will not use it. They will not grow closer to God so that God can reveal to them how to use their gifts. And they'll be jealous of you. And that admiration and flattery, one day, the very next day, it can change right into jealousy and envy. Just that quickly. I know some of y'all have experienced it. If not all of you, you're the black sheep. All of you have experienced it. Whether it's from friends, from lovers, from parents, family, the workplace, you've experienced it. We ain't new to this. We true to this. And if you're not true to this at this point, it's because you're not doing a deep diving that you need to do. You need to be cognizant of what you're telling, who you're telling. You don't need validation from people. You don't need all this advice. You don't need people input on what they think you should do. Oh, you think I should do this? Because when you rely on other people to confirm or deny things for you instead of relying on God to confirm or deny things for you, you do yourself a disservice because if you're in a low vibrational space today, we're human. Some days we're weaker than others. And if you go to this person on this day because your thoughts are all over the place, you feeling, a bunch of emotions and you're like, I'm confused. I want to know how to move forward in my life. And it's just not seeming like I'm getting anywhere. And then you want to go to a certain person that you think you trust, and you go to them like, what you think I should do? I got this idea. You think I should do this? As soon as they say, nah, many people don't do that. Many people have not succeeded at that. Many people, because they haven't succeeded at it, because they don't know how to do it, because they've never seen nobody do it. So they'll project that doubt and fear onto you. And then now you sitting there and going to let the idea slip away. Not realizing that God gave it to you. He did not give it to them. God does not give the same vision to everybody. The dreams he gave Joseph, he did not give it to Joseph's other brothers. Joseph had 11 other brothers. He didn't give that dream to them. And they hated on him for it. They wanted to unalive him for it. They shipped him off into slavery for it. Because of the dreams that he had. And he was telling his dreams to even his father, even Jacob. When Joseph told Jacob that he had a dream that he gonna be king and he gonna be ruling over all of them, he even like, you're not, like, even his father like, what? Like, stop playing with me. You the Lord's son. How dare you think you gonna be, and you my second to the youngest child. You literally the almost the youngest. And you think you gonna be ruling over me and your brothers? Even his brothers, like, it's just, I think one day, like, we need to do an actual video probably about that, but because y'all need to see, and this is why I say y'all need to be reading the Bible. Everything you going through, baby, it's been that somebody has went through that before you. You're not the only one going through certain things. And it's not considered lying when you're not telling people everything. You're supposed to keep certain things to yourself. It's a mystery. And you do need to remain mysterious to people. And some people don't like you for that because they want to know all your business. You don't need to know all the business. I've had many of those situations with friends and family, lovers. They want to know too much. It's not their business. They don't need to know all of that. If these people are not the ones that's going to solve your problems, if these people are not the ones that's going to teach you what you need to know to make your dreams a reality, why do they even need to know? If these people are not living in the lifestyle that you desire, if they're not walking in that career path that you're trying to walk in, if they have not reached those health levels that you are, trying to attain, what are you asking them for anything for? What are you asking them for? They don't need to know. Some people are just nosy. They're monitoring spirits and don't even know it. They practice witchcraft and all type of things, and maybe they know it or maybe they don't. Anybody that's too nosy, trying to see what you got going on all the time, want to know your every move, it's like, why? It's like, why? And if you feel like you're the type of person that owes anybody an explanation, why do you feel like that? You don't owe anyone anything. And I don't care if you're living with these people. I don't care if you're living with your parents, you living with these significant others. You don't owe these people that. It's not considered lying, sweetie. It's not considered lying when you're holding some things to yourself. I'm gonna read y'all the scripture. Y'all know I love Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. Like I say all the time in Ecclesiastes, there's a time to be silent and there's a time to speak. And sometimes being silent is going to save you. It's going to save you. It's going to save the enemy from being able to know where to drop an obstacle at, to block you from moving forward, to cause you to get depressed, have anxiety, cause you to get all worked up. Because you telling people things, now they know where to block. They know what's important to you. So they know what to hinder you. They know SWOT analysis in business. A SWOT analysis is when your competitor studies your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is business 101. This is what I learned in school. And it's the one thing that sticks with me because I was talking to y'all about this like videos back about this whole Russia war and stuff that's going to come here because they're going to mess with where we're strengthened at, which is our technology. They're going to weaken our technology by messing with our systems. So when your competitor, your opponents, and sometimes you don't know who your opponent, like I said, a lot of times, a lot of y'all sleeping with your biggest enemy. A lot of y'all are sleeping with your biggest enemy. You want to know why you can't get ahead. You want to know why you're constantly, like every time you tell somebody something, I tell this person something, then all of a sudden I face a setback in that same area. You get to telling people about your relationships, and every little problem you have, or even when things is going good and every freaky thing your person do to you, and then you wonder why stuff start to get shooken up in your relationship. You start to tell people about, oh, you got a new raise. Oh, you just got this hustle going. Now you making this X, Y, Z type of money. Then you wonder why you start getting stagnant. You start telling people about your purpose, your dreams. Then you wonder why stuff gets stagnant. Because some people envy that. And some people have a spirit of envy and jealousy on them and don't even know it. They don't even know it because it's come from a place of insecurity because of their lack thereof, because of the things that they have not been able to accomplish, because of their own self-sabotaging ways, because of the way that they let the enemy deceive them, telling them they're not good enough. They can never do nothing. So they will project that onto you. And when they see you making those strides and those efforts to get ahead in life, and they are not doing it, or they haven't done it, or it's not known for nobody where they from to do it, they don't want you to do it either, because it's like, who do you think to think that, who are you to think you better than me? Who are you to think that you're better than any of the people that from where I come from? So you have to be discerning. That's the scripture I wanted to read. It says, even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. That's Proverbs 17:28. Y'all know I'm going to put it on the screen. Even a fool, when he holds his peace, is counted wise. And he that shuts his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. You're seen as intelligent because you know it's a time to speak and a time to be silent. You know everybody don't need to know everything. You know it's sacred keeping certain things to yourself. Everybody don't need to know. Nobody will never know everything about me. I love that. I love keeping a mystery. Why do you need to know? It's like, I don't have to let you into my innermost being. I don't have to let you in on all my thoughts, all my dreams, all my aspirations. That's none of your business. When you see me is when you see me. When you see me in action, if you ever see me in action, you see me. And if you don't, you don't. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody, because you're not here to prove nothing to nobody but the Most High God, baby. That's it. And when you get to understand that you don't need validation from these people, you go to God. You question about what you should do. What should I talk about? Okay, maybe I want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe I want to start building up my TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Maybe I'm trying to get rich off content, because y'all know that's a big thing. You know, that's a movement now. Or maybe I'm trying to start a business that has nothing to do with social media. Maybe I'm trying to start a ministry. Maybe I'm trying to start, whatever you're trying to start. A children's youth organization. Whatever it is you're trying to start, only validation you need is the validation from God. You don't need validation from nobody else, because they have the ability to either put negative thoughts in your head to prevent you from moving forward with your idea, or they do have the potential to motivate you. But you can't even rely on other people all the time to motivate you. You have to have that drive and willpower within yourself to want to move forward, to want to get out of certain situations, to want to persevere, to want to elevate, to want to reach your promise, to want to receive your inheritance, to want to bring your dreams into reality. You can't sit around twiddling your thumbs, think that stuff is going to fall out the sky. Think that by telling this person somebody's going to come save you. God is the only one that's going to come save you. And the ways that he will come save you sometimes is simply dropping an idea in your head. He gave you the vision. Now he's looking for you to come to him so he can give you the plans on how to execute it. You go to him for the step by step, because the way another person did it is not going to be the way that you did it. We all are different. Nobody's taking the same route to success. Nobody's taking the same route to love. Nobody's like all this advice that people try to give out here online about what works. Even people who have successful marriages, you can't look at what somebody else had because they've been in a relationship for 60 years. They've been married for 60 years, and you think that they are the blueprint for which you should move. You don't know what them people had to endure. You don't know all the obstacles that they had to overcome. You don't know what they really still going through, just for the sake of being able to say that out their mouth that they had these amount of years in. And you don't really know what people have going on. You don't know. People tell you what they want to tell you. People let you know what they want you to know. And that's the same way you need to move. You let people know what you want them to know. But then you need to check your heart posture behind it. What is my motive for them knowing this? Why do I need them to know this? Why do I need them to know this? That's what you need to ask. You have to use discernment. You have to listen to your intuition. You have to understand that it's peace in keeping things to yourself. It's sacredness within you, your own relationship with yourself and with God, to just keep certain things between you two. Everybody does not need to be privy to know all of these things about you, to know everything that you have going on, because now that they can see where to plot at, now they can know your weaknesses. Like I was saying before, you give them the ability to know, okay, this is his strengths or her strengths. This is her weaknesses. So if I'm a type of person that I have an envy towards your strengths, I'm going to try to figure out every way I can to weaken where you're strengthened at. Like I told y'all with this war, they're plotting on how to weaken our strengths. They already know where we weak at, so that's an easy conquer. But I need to know where they strengthen at so I can bring them down to be weak in that area too. Because your enemy wants you weak in all areas so that you can be codependent on them. Because when you're codependent on a person know you need them to sustain. They know you need them for survival. They know you need them for everything. You put yourself in position to be milked, to be hurt, because they know that you're going to have to shut up and do as they say. You're going to have to answer to them. You're going to have to walk on eggshells just to get what you want, just to get what you need, because they have that power. They have the power to starve or feed you. And you never give nobody the ability to be able to starve or feed you. Never. So you don't owe nobody no explanation. There is a such thing as good lying. Don't become no like pathological lie like some of these folks and they just lie about everything. But especially if you're the black sheep and you living in a narcissistic household still, if you still living around narcissists and you know you living around narcissists and you know you living around people that's not really for you because you hear the things that they say, you see the way that they move, you see that every time you try to get ahead, they do something to bring you down. You trying to save money and every time they causing more debt for you, they causing obstructions, they costing you. They're a liability to you. Those are people you don't want to tell everything to. You got to learn how to not necessarily hold on to the things that people do, but you never forget. Because anything somebody does once, they can do it again. They can very well do it again. And you need to understand that. So you need to move differently. Stop telling people your savings plans. They don't need to know. Stop telling everybody how much you make. And it's actually sad because sometimes you think that you can talk to people, especially like when you think that they're your friends, when you think that they're your significant other, you think you can talk to them about these things. But then you soon realize that just pay attention to their body language. Pay attention to things they say when y'all get into an argument. Things they say. Pay attention to how they move. Pay attention to how they watch you struggle. Pay attention to how they think it's funny when you fall. Pay attention to those things. Pay attention to them seeing you struggle and they just sitting back. Even your own parents, grandparents, cousins, friends, whoever. Nobody is exempt. You're the chosen one. You're the black sheep. You know what it's like. You already know. The main people that you think is for you ain't never been for you. You're surrounded by narcissists, which means you're surrounded by a bunch of demon seeds. And the enemy's only agenda is to steal, kill, and destroy the chosen one, the anointed one, God's child. That's why when you keep telling them, these people, these things, you wonder why you never get ahead. Because you keep telling the enemy exactly where to come and plant an obstacle at. You're literally telling him where to come plant an obstacle at. You're literally telling him your dreams and aspirations. Y'all know a lot of these people be into witchcraft. A lot of these people be into all type of stuff. And sometimes I don't even think that they know it. It's the spirit that operates within them that they don't know because they have so many open doors for the enemy to come in and squat in them and use them to wreak havoc on themselves and others. They don't even know. A lot of people have insecurities. We all do. But some people's insecurities really make them despise others because of their own lack thereof. Because of their own lack thereof. You got people who never did the things that you're doing or trying to do. And they don't want you to do it either. You got people that is doing better than what you're doing. And they see your potential of where you could be. And they don't ever want you to reach your fullest potential. Because they don't ever want the one who used to be the underdog to end up becoming the big dog. The one to end up having the fame, the notoriety, the respect, the honor. They don't want you to become that. Because that's going to take the attention off of them. Especially in these narcissistic family dynamics. Like we talked about in that video. If y'all have not watched the Powerful Black Sheep Anointing video, it was like delving deep revelation about the Black Sheep Anointing. We was talking about the star. These people don't want you to supersede them. Some people really be doing, I mean, I can go, if I talk about every experience I had, I'll be doing a video for hours. People will be doing better than you. As soon as you start to, get on your, as soon as you start climbing, you climbing trying to reach the top of that mountain, to go over the mountain. You climbing. As soon as you climbing, as soon as you get up to the top of the mountain and get over that hurdle and it hit your accomplishment, hit the finish line, all of a sudden you see a shift in their energy. You see a shift in their energy. They begin to change. When you was down bad, when you was living with your folks, they was cool. Now that you got your own, now that you getting your money up, getting your credit up, getting things that you never had before, rocking new clothes, getting back on your ish, staying bipped up, staying fresh. Now your hair stay done all the time. Now your nails stay done. Now you stay shaped up, got your hair cut. Now you got some crisp clothing. You starting to, even if you don't even say nothing, people can tell when you starting to elevate. They start to feel a shift in the energy. Some of the things you used to complain about before, you ain't no longer complaining about them. You now talking about new things, and they not used to that from you. So they want to do anything they can do to kick you off your high horse. They don't want you to be there. They don't want you to reach your fullest potential. People will say that they do. Those are the main ones that you got to be watching out for. You got to watch out for everybody, because it's the ones that be cheering for you. They'll be cheering for you. They'll be admiring you. They'll be flattering you. And then they do like a whole 180. Like, you just switch up. Like, dang, at what point made you switch up? Dang, who got into your ear? Like, it's just, baby, that's why I don't have no friends. Baby, until I get where I need to be, I don't want no friends. Because people who saw you down bad, they never, especially people who never saw you at your peak, or never, they can't, when they see you at your peak, they're going to be like, dang, I ain't know she or he had the potential to get there, had the potential to be like that. Like, because they only saw you at ground zero. They only saw you when you fell off. They only saw you. They ain't meet you until you was down here. So when you start elevating, doing new things, they like, oh, dang, I didn't know she was about that, especially because she don't ever tell me nothing. She don't ever talk about these things. And a lot of people don't like when you remain a mystery. And that's one of your greatest things that you can do, is remain a mystery to people. People always be trying to figure you out. Trying to figure me out, baby. I'm an onion. I have several layers to me. Several layers. And nobody will ever get to the core. Nobody will ever get to the core, because I don't owe you that. These people be wanting to, like, I might rip off one layer for you. Like, for one, my trust factor. I don't trust anybody. None. Zero. Zilch. I don't trust you. And I know we're human. We're very finicky. We flaky. We switch up. We switch up. Especially when you letting the devil use you, and when you got all these insecurities that you don't try to go in and work on. When people don't try to work on their own insecurities, it just brews, and it grows and it grows. Because jealousy is normal. We're human. You get jealous. But envy is one of the 7 deadly sins. Envy is worse than jealousy, because envy will take you out of here. And admiration, too much admiration. That's what I don't like. Don't flatter me. Don't be too inspired and none of that. Because you will soon begin to hate. So you got to be very discerning with who you trusting with certain information. Keep it between you and God. That's the best thing you can do. Everybody don't need to know everything. They don't. Everybody doesn't need to know everything. Learn to just move in silence. Keep it never no noise. They don't need to know nothing. Like, when you see me is when you see me. When you see me pop out, that's when you see me pop out. That's when you see me. Until then, just keep guessing. Instead of guessing, because a lot of people be so busy focused on what somebody else doing, they can't even get their own stuff together. That's why you so busy watching me. You so busy monitoring me. You so busy trying to see what I got going on. What's my next move? Because a lot of people can't make their next move until you make yours. They waiting on you to make your next move so they can get tips and ideas of how they can make theirs. Because they don't have no creativity. They don't have an innovative mind. They're not a creative thinker. They don't have the audaciousness like you. They don't have the ability to execute like you. And they will be very intimidated by that. And like I said, jealousy will soon turn to envy if they don't have that control over that thing. It will turn into envy, and then they'll want your spot. And then because they can't have your spot, they'll try to take you out of here. Look at all these people like these street dudes do. They really be hating on a man on the one who out there getting money, getting the girls. They hate on that person because they making plays, not even realizing that that person too came from a struggle like you. They figured out a way to make it out. They figured out a way to get on. They figured out a way to start getting that money. Now, when you start getting new money, you got access to different things when you getting money. And because they don't have access to those things, they don't have access to the stores you have access to, or they don't have even the creativity to know how to put that issue on. They don't got no style. People will be jealous of your style because you know how to put outfits together. I mean, I'm just telling you, like, it be stupid stuff, especially with women. You know, like women can be jealous about anything. Women, everything is a competition for women. They will be jealous of how you parent, of how your children love you. Like, they will be jealous of how your man love you. They will be jealous about anything because they ain't never had it. They can't get a man to buy them nothing. They got to do all the buying. They be buying these men. They got to spend all their money buying everybody. So when they see you just sitting pretty, like the queen that you are, you know, and they see that you demand, and not even that you're a beggar, but because of your essence, your standards, what you require that they don't require, and they wonder why they get treated as such. It's the character, baby. It's the character, boo. And they be sitting there wondering, like, dang, how she get this? How she, baby, it's the character. It's the character. You know, and people will be envious of that stuff. They will be envious. So you gotta just move in silence and pay attention to people that's always trying to copy your every move. I'm just telling you, pay attention to people who want to be just like you. You don't want to be just like me, baby, because you don't know what it takes to be me. You think this easy? This is not easy. This is a challenge. Be careful wanting to be like other people. You don't want to be like them because you don't know what they had to go through. They might seem like they got it together today. They might seem like they here. They might seem like they winning, rich, successful, got it all going on. But you don't know the turmoil that they face deep down within. You don't know the empty voids that they have within, that they're using these materialistic things to cope with. You don't know. You don't know how they got their success. You don't know how they got their intelligence. You don't know what it took for them to get that intelligence, because a lot of times you got to go through experiences. And do you want to go through all the experiences that somebody else went through for them to gain that level of wisdom that they had because of the experiences that they went through? You don't want to have to go through that because you might not make it out of yours. You might not have that same. You don't know. And that's why you never idolize other people. You never want to be like other people because you don't know what it takes for them to even be them. Stop trying to be like these IG girls. Stop trying to think that everything that look good is good. Everything that glitters ain't gold. A lot of these people are dressed up trash buckets up out here. Dressed up trash buckets. Build-A-Bears. They take their mask off. Y'all be, if this applies, because the person that I'm really talking to, hopefully you watching this video. Because stop looking at these girls on Instagram. Stop looking at these celebrities. Stop looking at these folk thinking that, oh, they just live such happy lives. That you don't know what these people be going through. Because you see a picture, because you see a 1 minute reel, 1 minute out of 24 hours. You see a 1 minute reel of them, Chanel purse, on a yacht or whatever they're doing. And you think that it's sweet. You think that they're really happy. A lot of them can't even get online without a face full of makeup, a bust down, a wig, a knit, a tuck, a cranny. They can't even get on there as the true them. A lot of these girls out here look alike. They're not even the true them. They're not even in authentic form. Yeah, you hating on a person that has a mask on. Literally. Whole mask on. That's not even a real them. You jealous of these girls because it seems like they get attention. These girls might get attention. They might get effed. These dudes will, they will screw a can. Anything with a hole. Anything with a hole. Some of these men out here really be having sex with blow up dolls, be having sex with animals. They be doing all type of stuff to feed that lustful desire, that lust that's within them. You can't be worried about the girls that's getting attention. A lot of them ain't really happy. You don't know what a lot of them be settling for. You don't know what they be going through. Certified side pieces, certified habitual yeast and BV queens. You don't know what these girls, like, you cannot be looking at what you see. Everything that you see ain't what it is. It's an illusion, especially on social media. It is an illusion. Stop watching everybody. Focus on you and focus on keeping your mouth closed. Like that scripture, set a watch over my mouth, dear Lord. Set a watch over my mouth. Keep a watch over the door of my lips. Control. That's what you need to include in your prayers. Control what comes out of it. You got loose lips. Shh. Shh. A wise person knows when to speak and when to be silent. And like I said, it's not considered lying. They don't need to know your every move. They don't need to know where you frequent. They don't need to know who you be around. They don't need to know who you interested in. Why? So they can try to block it. Why? So they can do their spells. People really out here really do practice dark magic. Y'all need to understand this. People really do envy you. Your likeness. It ain't even necessarily you, but your likeness. You got to understand that. Your ambition. Your drive, your thinking, your brain. People will envy those things. So everybody that act like they for you, you gotta be, nah. I might tell you something, but I'm not telling you everything. You can trick them. That way they think that they know what you're doing. I'm telling you, even with your own parents, they don't need to know. Why? Are you going to help me get there? So what do you need to know for? Are you getting ready to put me in a room with somebody? Why do you need to know what I'm working on? You don't need to know. Everything that I've ever popped out with, everything from my YouTube to other businesses that I was doing, these people, nobody ever knew until I just did it. I don't go looking for validation. Oh, you think I should do this? Oh, I need motivation from here. Nah, if anything, I find people online that are living the life that I want. And if they have a mindset that I like, because every rich person, I don't like their mind, especially on like a personal tip. Like some of these women out here, they strags, rich strags. I don't like how you think. I don't like people that settle for anything in relationships. I don't like people who got low self-esteem and you let anybody treat you any kind of way. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're personal, what? Okay, go ahead. Even if you're personal, if the way you think, like on a personal level, like you do anything for the sake of love, you go for anything, ew, yuck, oh. No. I might like your business advice, but baby, as soon as you get to talking that other stuff, baby, it's giving very much so clowned out, and I don't want to hang around you. I don't want to even hear that. Let me click off. Cause the way people think is what can make me not like you or like you. It's about this. All that other stuff means nothing to me. It's this. It's your brain. How do you think? How do you move? What is your character like? What is your moral compass? Like, and it just be, especially when you're growing, and you know, it be a lot of times it be people that's older than you, and they still think like 18-year-olds, like 15-year-olds. It's like, dang, it's disgusting. It's a turnoff. Like, when do you grow up? When do you grow up here? And that's why too, you got to understand, sometimes you're just not meant to fit in certain places. You're not meant to be with certain people. Everything is not for you. And you got to be okay with that. You got to accept that. You got to be grateful that God shows you certain things. You got to be grateful for that. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Moral of the story is move in silence. You don't need to tell them nothing. Lie to them. They be lying to you. And sometimes it's just telling the half truth. You could tell them something. Just keep it real vague. Because people be wanting to know the details. Keep it vague. Oh, how's business going? Oh, it's good. Even if it's bad. Oh, it's going good. Oh, how's this? Fine. Oh, where you going today? Oh, I'm just going to hang out. Just going for a walk. Just going. You don't got to even tell them all of that. Oh, are you in a relationship? One day I tell a person, because these men, child, sometimes it just depends on how I feel. Sometimes I lie, sometimes I tell the truth. What difference is it to you? I don't owe you nothing. I don't know you. Only person I owe the truth to is my children and the Lord. And if you in like a real relationship with somebody that's trustworthy, that you know you can trust and depend on and rely on, and that makes you emotionally safe, you feel that emotional security and physical security with them, yeah, then of course you let them know. But a lot of people, 80% of families out here is dysfunctional in America. That's proven statistic. 80% of families are dysfunctional. So don't be dismayed that you're alone, that you're in isolation. Don't be thinking that everything that glitters out here is gold. When, like it says, statistically, 80% of families are dysfunctional. And if you don't want to be a part of dysfunction, if you're not just in a relationship just for the image of society, if you know that you got a type of partner that you really can't trust, because all they did is keep backstabbing you, they be stealing from you, stealing your money, stealing your car, stealing your dreams. You come to them with an idea, or everything you come to them with, they kick it down because they ain't got no motion, because they can't see further than yesterday. They still stuck in 15 years ago. What happened 15 years ago? They can't come about the past at all. That's gonna be a whole other video. We're gonna talk about this depression and anxiety thing. You got to come up out of that. And because other people haven't come up out of it, they don't want you to. They don't want you to. And even if some people sometimes they act like they want you to, as soon as you start making strides, as soon as you do this, they always try to start acting funny. Or when they catch you on a weekday one more time, they ready to aha, yeah. like we read in Psalms 35 that day. Y'all need to start reading Psalm 35. If you got enemies out here, baby, you need to be reading Psalm 35. When you want justice on behalf of your enemies out here, read you some Psalms 35. David was like, yeah, they laughed at me, they kicked me while I was down. The people that kicked you while you was down, your enemy, God gonna prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. So when these people be watching you, when they watching from the rear view, they watching from the back, they spying, they been monitoring spirits, God letting them watch. God is letting them watch. He let them think that. That's why he'll let you fall. He'll let you fall real bad. So when you get that bounce back, when he pick you up, clean you up, prune you, dust you off, give you this new idea, give you the plan. Like when you really get that relationship with him and start trusting him and let him move for you, let him lead you to where he already ordained you here to be, they could see that it was nothing but the Lord. Now they gonna have something new to be jealous of you of. Now they jealous of you because you got a relationship with the Lord. And they knew the Lord before you. And they been a Christian all these years. And they grew up in the church. And you don't even go to church. But you got a locked in relationship like this with the Lord. And he leads you to exactly where you need to be. And he covers you. You got divine protection. His angels encampeth you. His angels encampeth you. And they can see it by the grace that's on your life, by the light that shines right from you, by the way you keep getting back up and kicking them doors in, because you're not going to let nobody block you, no gatekeepers. You kicking them doors down because you're going to get through the other side. You're going to get through to the finish line. You're going to get through to what's owed to you because you have an inheritance that's owed to you, You are the beneficiary of that inheritance. That trust fund is in your name. You are a trust fund baby. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. And a lot of times they don't want you to. But it does not matter. The enemy can only delay. He can delay. And that's why you want to move in silence. And some of these people, they go to extreme heights to still try to see what you got going on. You don't even got to tell them. That make them even, the more you shut them out, the more they be like, let me get a private investigator. Let me go to a psychic. Let me go start doing some spells. Let me see. I got to know. I need to know. Pathetic. Like, focus on your own life. You can't get ahead because you're too busy focused on me. You too busy focused on the next man. You see he getting money. You see he getting the women. You see he finally getting out of the poverty, out of the hood. Or you see she finally getting out the hood. You see she finally climbing new heights. You see she finally loving herself. You see she flourishing and he flourishing. And you hating. They'll see that. They'll see that. And then they begin getting jealous. That's why you gotta just move cautiously, move in silence. I can go on and on, but enough has been said. Enough has been said. You don't owe anybody anything but the Lord your God and yourself. And this year, make this your best year. Make this your best year. Stop focusing on the past, what it was, what it could have been. Focus on what's now. Take everything that you learned from the past, use it as your stepping stone. Make those enemies your footstool. Because God wants He wants to overflow your cup. He wants to overflow your cup. You're the chosen one. It's your inheritance to have your cup flowing. Your inheritance is the land flowing of milk and honey. That's your portion. Literally. That's your portion. But you got to make sure you're doing what you need to do. You got to make sure you got the right people on your team and not anybody on your team just for the sake of having anybody. We don't need space fillers. That's one thing I don't do. I don't do space fillers. I don't need you just around just to be around. If you're not around to serve a purpose, bye. Get on. You can't be around here. Sorry. We don't need just space fillers. We're not codependent. We don't need just anybody around. We need the right people around that can help make this dream a reality, that can help get to the next level, that can be trusted, that can be relied on with many different things, not just about what good sex you can give me. Baby, that's a small thing to a giant. How you going to stimulate this? People around you that they bring nothing to the table. I already told y'all, we'll do a whole nother video on that. Everybody must serve a purpose. Everything you have in your life serves a purpose, baby. If these people are not serving a purpose for you, if they're doing nothing but hindering you, stunting your growth, They need to exit stage left. Stop keeping people around just because you're scared to be alone. You're being codependent. That's not going to get you where you need to be. And then you're going to keep sitting around, looking back, watching everybody win, watching everybody grow. Because these people ain't got blessing blockers around them like you. You got blessing blockers around you because you talk too much to them. You always want to chill around them because you can't be alone. They done already showed you sign up that they're not for you. But you want to keep them around because you like space fillers, because you don't know how to be alone, because you just need something to do when there's nothing to do. When it's always something to do. You need to be healing. You need to be learning boundaries. You need to be working on yourself. You need to be learning a new skill so that you can elevate whatever gift that God gave you. You need to make that. You need to really pour into that and water that gift so that you can truly maximize it, to make your maximized amount of money, so that you can make maximized amount of purpose and impact on other people in the world that need your gift. That's what you need to be doing. That's what you need to be doing. Not sitting around lollygagging and carrying on no. That stuff is only keeping you stuck. You doing the same thing you've been. If you doing the same thing you've been doing, you ain't learned nothing in the past year, the past 5 years. You ain't learned no new skills. You ain't got no new wisdom. Bless you, baby. None of that. You're doing yourself a disservice. Every day you need to be learning something. You always remain a student of life. You always remain a student. You should always be learning something. That's how you increase your skill set. And the more you increase your skill set, the more your value goes up. The more you're deemed worthy. The more that you can charge your worth. A lot of people can't charge their worth and they have to settle in all areas because you don't bring no value. Or even if you bring value, you don't know that you have that value. So you can't even charge it. You let people get you for the free 99. Baby, you worth $1 billion. Why are you giving them your access to you for free 99? Why are you giving them all your thoughts and ideas and everything for free 99? You got to know when it's time to up the price. Like my man Dolph said, he got to pay to see me. I don't stop for free. And none of that sucker ish. I don't condone it. Don't condone no sucker stuff. And I'm not just chilling around any and everybody because you don't deserve that access to me. It's a privilege. You don't deserve it. And sometimes you might be around, but you don't be easily accessible. People don't value things that's easily accessible. You got to look at the designer and stuff. Why do people want designer and stuff? Because it's not easily accessible. It costs more. And when people wear things that cost more, they feel like they're worth more. Even though a lot of them, like I said, be dressed up trash buckets, they feel very low inside and they use those things as a facade. They use it to mask the unworthiness that they really feel inside. Because they feel like they valued and went up. Because I'm wearing these expensive things. But once again, those are things and you take them off and you're looking at that same little floozy in the mirror. And that's a whole nother thing. Because people be looking good when they dripping. They got the drip on. And if y'all ever been with somebody, like, and you be like, dang, you took all the drip off. Now you're not even that cute no more. Like, that's how they be feeling about us too. Like, so it's because men, the way men feel about women, like, you know, oh, y'all got the weave, got the nails, got your makeup on, got your BBL, or got your girdles, and all that you sculpted. When they meet you at the club or meet you wherever they meet you at, then they get you home and the wig fall off and the eyebrows get smeared and everything. Then they like, who is this? Who is this person? Who is this person? We think like that about men too. Like, man, you looked good when you had like the watch on, when you had the drip on. Now you just got this little like, we be looking at their body too. I don't know. I look at their body too. I be like, I look at your walk, like everything. You like, when you look at the same way they looking at everything, I look at everything too. I'm looking at how you walk, how you carry yourself, like how you think, your confidence level. You could tell a man that's not confident or a woman that's not confident. Anybody that's always looking for outside validation, they have very low self-esteem. Very low self-esteem. It takes like all these people got to tell you who you are for you to feel like you that. That comes from within. That confidence comes from within. Because you got to realize when people no longer giving you these accolades and where they no longer praising you for your accolades and they no longer giving you that, oh, you this, you that. Now, of course, we human and we all have weak moments. So sometimes you feeling low and you do need somebody to be like, you beautiful. Or I like what you doing. Keep up the good work. Oh, you wise. Oh, you do need that sometimes. But if you relying on that all the time before you can make a move, baby, you going to set yourself up for failure. If it takes for you to wait on somebody else to tell you, you a handsome fella. You look good. If you waiting on somebody to tell you, oh, you beautiful. If you waiting on somebody else to tell you that and you don't ever go find it within, baby, you know yourself a disservice. You're going to lead you down a whole road of some whole other stuff that we ain't even going to get into because I don't want the message to start getting straight to another direction. But these things come from within. And these are the things that we're going to be talking about in these next upcoming videos. Because we got to get this mindset right. We got to get our confidence. We got to get our posture together. We have to. You're the chosen one. We can't have this. I can't have this. When I say we, I'm talking about me and God. Because a lot of the ways that God feels I feel his feelings. I feel his feelings. So when I get upset about certain things, it's because God is upset about that. The things that is like the things that I don't like about this world. And that's what I had when I was reading the other day because I was reading Ezekiel, and that's what God said. Like it said in there, like God sent the servant to go mark the people in the city. These are the righteous ones that he went to go mark. These are the ones to be saved. The ones that hate what's going on, hate the wickedness that's going on. Like those are the ones that he know is righteous. You hate the BS. You hate people that's living in a lack mentality. People that lack faith. People that like you, those things, the things that I hate are the things that God hates. The more I read, I be like, dang. Like when I say let your thoughts be my thoughts, you literally and this stuff been how I've been moving. Since I was young. I hate these things about people. I hate people who don't see their potential. I hate people that don't want to elevate. That stuff irritates me. It irritates me because it's like, why don't you see it? Why don't you see what I see in you? Why don't you see what God sees in you? Why don't you see it? Why? And that's what I'm here to do. Drill your brains because you're going to get it together. You are the chosen one. Enough of that. People done beat you down long enough. And you don't even realize the reason they was beating you down was to dim your light because they saw what was in you. They see it. They saw it, which is why they treated you like that. Because who you had the potential to be, who you still have the potential to be is a threat to the kingdom of darkness. It's a threat to who they are. It's a threat to their insecurities. You're a threat. And because you're a threat, you got to move cautiously because you're going to always have people that's out to get you. So you got to move carefully. Move in silence. Stop looking for everybody to root for you. Root for yourself. God is rooting for you because God is the one that's planting it on your heart. He's giving you that urge. You feeling it's time to do this. It's time to do this. I want to do this, but I'm scared. That's going to be a whole nother video. Get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable. You cannot want dreams. You cannot want a successful lifestyle. You cannot want to be fit. You cannot want these things, but yet you don't take no action on them. Faith without works is dead, boo. A vision with no plan is worthless. You need a plan. And then when you have the plan, you need a daily plan. And then when you have this plan, you must execute it. Every day you should be putting in some type of work to get you to the next level. Even if that's just simple as your finances. If you're trying to learn how to start saving money, if you're trying to learn how to make more money, you need to be watching content on that. Watching other BS, all this nonsense they sit around here flapping their gums about on these podcasts. You don't need to be watching that. You don't need to be watching that. You need to be watching things that's going to help you get to where you need to be. You trying to work on your fitness goals? Okay, what are you doing every day to work on that? Are you doing any type of push-ups? Are you doing any type of walking? Are you cutting back? Are you fasting? What are you doing for that? You're trying to grow your hair. What are you doing to contribute to that? You're trying to grow closer to God. If you're trying to grow closer to God, y'all need to get my ebook. It is on sale for $25. So definitely click the link in the bio. Click the link in the description box to get your copy of How to Grow Closer to God. Well, 7 Keys to the Kingdom, the blueprint on how to grow closer to God. Or watch the videos. I give y'all free game on this all day. Or watch other videos. Watch them. Learn how to do what you need to do. You want to change your mindset. You have a poverty mindset. You have a lack mindset. Watch mindset videos. Watch that type of content. You want to start eating healthier? Only follow those type of content channels or pages on Instagram, whatever. You have to set up your own city. It's like you building a city for yourself. You choose what's going to go in your city to make it a prosperous city. You choose it. Anything that's going to come bringing destruction to your city, you don't want that stuff in there. So you have to be cautious and be diligent with what you're doing. Be intentional. How about I say that? Be intentional. Be disciplined. Sometimes you got to do what you want to do. You got to do what you have to do even when you don't want to do it. So I'm done ranting because that's getting into a whole nother. We'll be talking about this because we get ready to be dropping them. I'm getting ready to be dropping some videos because we got to get this mindset right. We got to get the mindset right. I be seeing some of y'all emails. I'll be like, I need to do a video. Because you're not the only person that need to hear this. You're not the only person that need to hear this. There's many out here like us. One thing that the chosen ones have in common is because we all have been in a place of, we had low vibrations sometimes because we didn't know who we are. But your energy is so powerful. Your anointing is so powerful that it has made other people treat you a certain kind of way. And because of them treating you a certain kind of way, you now treat your own self a kind of way because you don't really know your worth. And that's what we're here to do. Teach the chosen ones who they are. You got to know who you are. You got to know why you were the black sheep. That's who I talk to. The black sheep. You were never meant to fit in certain spaces. Embrace it. Because these same people that was talking, they was talking all that riffraff, these going to be the same people looking up to you. Like Joseph. The same ones that tried to unalive him, the same ones that hated on him, had to come back and ask him for food. Because they were starving. God made his enemies his footstools for real. That's why ever since I started, when I first came to Texas and God showed me, and I started reading the story about Joseph, I was like, I love Joseph. That's my favorite Bible character, Joseph. He got integrity, morals. He wouldn't sleep with that trifling Jezebel of a woman, Potiphar's wife, that you try to throw yourself on him. He did not want you, girl. He did not want you. He had some couth and decorum about himself that you lack. And then you try to lie on him like some of these people do when you don't want them. Now they the victim because they threw themselves at you and you don't want them. And now they the victim. And now they try to want to plot to destroy you because you did not want them. You did not take their advancement. I respected Joseph for that. He was like, I'm not sleeping with this woman. Lady, girl, I got bigger fish to fry. I got other things here to do. But they threw him. They threw him into slavery, and even in his position, his anointing was still on him. Because one thing about that anointing, it's in you. It's not what's on you; it's what's in you. So it don't matter if you get thrown in the trenches. It don't matter if you go homeless. It don't matter if you go broke. It don't matter if you're living on the street. That anointing is in you. It was instilled in you since you was in the mama womb. For when you was in the mama womb, God already ordained you when you were in the belly. You were born with it. You were born with it. Just like Jesus was born with the Holy Ghost, you too. You were born with it. That's why you've been treated like this since a youngin'. Since a youngin'. You always been different. When you really think back on your life, you be like, dang, I always like move different. It ain't even that I'm so different to the point where it's like, oh, I'm just this, I'm that. But you really are that because you're really different. You move different. Your morals are different. Your integrity, your moral compass is just different. Like Joseph was. He just don't move like y'all. He just different than y'all. And them same brothers that thought they got rid of him, all y'all did was put him into isolation. All y'all did was make him go somewhere where he had to be by himself to use his gifts to fully maximize those gifts that was instilled in him. And his gifts made him a king. His gifts made him a king. And now when he was ruling, them same brothers had to come back and ask him for bread. When they were starving, when there was a famine in the land, they had to come back and ask him. They had to come back and they needed him. It's the prime example. If they throw you to a pack of wolves, you come back leading the pack. They throw you to the wolves. And they thought you was going to get ate up. Nah, I do the eating, baby. I do the eating. Now I'm leading the pack. They came right back and needed him. They was hungry. And Joseph spared them. He recognized them. They didn't even recognize him. You will get to a point where you unrecognizable. They can't even believe you. People who had they was once in your space. I mean, I'm just telling y'all this. They was once in your space. You were their own child. You were their own lover. You were their own. It was in close proximity to you. They didn't even know. Or even they knew, but they never thought you would reach it because they knew that they was doing so much to dim it. They knew they was doing so much to keep you from reaching that potential, from reaching that king status, that queen status, baby. They was doing so much to prevent you from doing it. Or maybe they just was ignorant. They didn't know. They didn't know who they had access to. They didn't know who you were when they had you. They didn't appreciate you when they had you around. But now when they see you, they're not even going to recognize you because they didn't even know you had that in you. Or even if they knew that you had it in you, they never thought that you would reach that level. They never thought it would be you. Like Joseph told them in a dream, he said, I'm going to be leading over everybody. They got mad at him. It was the truth. How are you mad? Am I your enemy because I speak the truth? Am I your enemy because I speak the truth? Am I your enemy because God gave me a vision and all I'm doing is trying to execute it? And why am I your enemy? God not even your enemy because he got something for you too. He ain't doing nothing different for you than he did for me. He gave you a gift. He gave me a gift. And it might not be the same gift. And even if it's the same gift, the way you got to execute it is different than the way I got to execute it. We are not the same. We have different fingerprints. No two people walk is going to be exactly the same. We have a lot of similarities, but your walk is not the exact walk of another person. No two people even have the same physical walk. You know, but they had to come back asking my man for some bread. Oh, we hungry. They didn't even recognize him. But guess what? He recognized them. Joseph recognized them. And he ain't even hate him. He ain't even hate him because what he said, for what you meant for evil, God used it for my good. What the enemy means for evil, God will always use it for your good if you go with his flow. You got to go with his flow. You got to go with his flow. You got to trust the process. You got to trust where he take you. When he allowed them to throw you in the lines, then you got to understand what he doing. When he stripped you from everything like Job, when he let the enemy come strip you from everything, you got to understand that it's a reason for it. You got to stop getting mad. You got to stop feeling defeated. You got to stop feeling like it's the end for you. It's just the beginning. He building you up on a new foundation now, on a new ground. He pruning you in that season. He teaching you stuff in that season. That's how he get ready to bring that gift up out you. Because you're going to have nothing. He going to strip you from everything so that you have nothing but your gift. He going to force it up out you. Because you didn't buried it so deep down within. It's there. You had it all along. You do it every day. A lot of times your gift is something you already do every day. A lot of us as chosen ones, you like helping people. You give advice to people all day, every day. Things that people come to you, the same things that you've been doing since you were young. I tell y'all this, when I look back on my Facebook, I be like, I was 14, 15, talking. I still be like, I'm much better now. I used to be definitely wow on that Facebook. I be seeing them posts. I be like, for one, girl, why did you used to type like that? And you were definitely a bitch. Like, what the heck was up with you, girl? I definitely didn't. As much as I think I still be on 10 sometimes, because I do go 0 to 100 sometimes. But most times I be chilling, like, but when I see them, I be like, oh, I just be talking shit. Like, but I realized that it still was the same. The stuff I used to say, the same stuff that I disliked. Can't stand no lazy man. I can't stand no lazy woman. Can't stand no copycat. Back then, even then, I remember back then I used to be like, hey, why I don't like people that want to be just like somebody else. Don't want to be like me. All these shoes out here, you want to go get the same ones as me? Like all these this, you want to go like get your own style. I love people that got their own thing, to do their own thing. Do your own thing in your own way. Be unique to who you are. God made you unique. You don't got to try to be like somebody else because you see that that's working for them. Do what works for you. There's going to be people that love you for you. You just got to sit and wait until you attract who's for you. Let God prune you up. Let him. That's why you need to go through the pruning process. When you get stripped from everything, that's the time to let God do his. He's trying to work on you. But you so busy mad, angry at God, rebelling. You got that rebellious spirit, and then you wonder why you never get nowhere. And for every day, every year, you're going to be just sitting around longing for what it could be, what it could have been. You know? Like I said, that's the whole, we're going to be talking about that. But overall, them same people, like Joseph, they had them same brothers had to come back and ask him. And he saw him, and he still spared him. He did a little trick on him to see if he could trust them now. But he still even like, he wanted to make sure, like, he wanted to make sure his brother checking with his brother Benjamin, because that's his mama's son. Like, all the rest of them was his father's sons. But you know, if y'all know your mother's other children, those 9 times out of 10, the ones that's really, and that's what I'm saying. This stuff is so biblical because people be talking all of this, but that your mother's, it's biblical. The one that really, I'm not gonna say the one that really matters, but the one if y'all came out the same coochie, y'all solidified. Y'all real, all that half brother, half sister. Nah, that's your real one. Y'all came out the same coochie. Y'all came out the same cooch. But even some of the ones that came out the same cooch as you, be your ops. So, you know, but you guys, it just was interesting to see. A lot of us went through the same thing Joseph did. And you're going to see those same people going to be the same ones. Okay, you guys, so my other microphone went dead. So that's a sign that I just need to wrap this video up anyway, because it was not even supposed to be this long. But y'all know me, I get the but I've been gone for a minute now. I'm back with the jump off. So you know I had to talk. Y'all know when I'm gone for a minute, I gotta come back talking. Okay? Gotta come back talking. But nonetheless, God prepared the table for you in the presence of your enemies. You gotta let them. Your enemy, them same enemies gonna be your footstool. They gonna be the reason you gonna be climbing on their back. You're gonna be using them to climb to where you need to be. The experience that they put you through is gonna be the same very experience that you now use to profit off of. Pain turned purpose, purpose turned profit. That's why I always say, turn your pain into purpose. You got the experience in it. Educate others now on it. Educate them on it. Educate it down what it's like to be in that situation. Give advice to the ones coming after you. You got to even sometimes give advice to these older folk. Because a lot of these older folk, they be acting like they ain't been through nothing. You've been here all these years. You've been through a lot of stuff. Why you still acting like you ain't been through nothing to learn from nothing? You know? But these gonna be the same ones coming back to you. The same ones that try to kick you. Now you're gonna be using their backs. You're gonna be using their backs to step on to get to where you're supposed to be. Because God said He gonna use your enemies as your footstools. And He gonna prepare the table in the presence of them. So they gotta be watching. So sometimes you can't even be mad that you got these monitoring spirits watching you. It's in His word. In Psalm 23, I'm preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. He gotta prepare for you in their presence. So He gotta let them see. He gotta make them think that they winning when they laughing at seeing you at rock bottom, seeing you go through the pit, seeing you homeless, seeing you carless, seeing you jobless, so see you losing your house, losing your relationship, losing your marriage, losing your kids. They gotta see you losing. So when they see you on the other side, when God do His big one, shh. When He do His big one, they gotta see. They gotta see. Yeah, watch. Because you saw me at rock bottom, then see me when I climbed to my highest heights. And you saw me at rock bottom. So don't get the hating. Don't be a hater. Because you saw when I was down there. And you kicked me. Remember when I was down there. So when you see me climbing, don't you dare have that mad tight face. Don't be a part of the tight face crew when you see me winning and you sitting back. Why he got this? Why she got that? Nah, you see me when I was at the bottom, so baby, you know I deserve this. You know I deserve this. And like Joseph, he already told you the dream. He told you what it was going to be. I already told you. You already know. You already knew what it was going to be. This is why you always persevere. Your struggles, I'm going to put that scripture up here. Your struggles is only meant to build character in you. And character builds perseverance. And perseverance leads to hope. And hope leads to God getting the glory for your story. Because He's going to show these people how don't you ever count out the chosen one. Don't you ever fix your lips. Touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Don't you ever speak against the chosen one. Even if they in a rockiest season. I believe that even a homeless man, that's why I treat everybody out here with kindness. You never know how that same homeless man could be the one hiring you one day. You never know. God love a mess. He'll put you in a messy situation. So that way, when He gets you out of it, they will know that was the power of God. They will know that was the hand of God working on that person. Because nobody could have did that but Him. Because God already know how humans are. Humans like to kick you when you down. Humans like to look at you as the bottom of the earth, the scum of the earth, when you down bad. People will treat the homeless person bad when that's the person you need to be having some type of compassion towards. Because they're already going without. But people like to kick them while they down. And that's what people like to do. He'll take you, like it says in the word, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. This is the year of the underdogs. This is the ones that was counted out. This is the year for you. They would have never guessed it would be you. You're going to be unrecognizable, just like Joseph was. They didn't even realize that was him. He was cleaned up. He was different. He was grown now. He had matured. He was in his gift. He was working in his purpose now. They couldn't even recognize him. They couldn't even recognize him. But he knew who you was. I ain't forget. I ain't mad at you because, baby, look what you did to me. How can I hate you? And this is what I'm saying. When you learn truth, when you learn forgiveness is for you. And when you let God take you through the motions and you see where it leads you, it's like, dang, how can I be mad at y'all? Y'all got me into my gift. Y'all pushed me right where I was supposed to be all along. When I was confused, when I was writing on my vision board, what's my purpose? I don't know my purpose. God had to shake it up. He had to shake it up. What the enemy used for evil, God gonna always mean it for my good. I would have never found it if I didn't have to go through all of this, go through all that, go through homelessness, go through all the splitting from everybody. Would have never found it. Would have never found it. It was through this wilderness season that brought my gift up out of me. That's what did it. That's what's gonna do it. That's why you gotta appreciate when people treat you like that. It's like, of course you don't like it at that time. You're like, dang, how dare you do me like that? But as time go on, you're gonna be like, all right, I'm glad. Look what it's doing for me. It's really pushing me to where I need to be. It's that push you need. Because when you're back up against the wall, baby, you gotta fight back. And when you at the bottom, only way you can go from the bottom is up. That's the only way you can go. That's the only way you can go. You know? So I'm done. This is all my time. Until the next time, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. This is